Well, you know, you've just got to laugh at the brazen manipulation going on regarding this arrest of Julian Assange, the founder, let's say, editor of Wikileaks. So far, basically, you know, I have never heard of an international arrest warrant for somebody who failed to wear a condom during intercourse. Yet, this is what's being touted by some of the mainstream press, telling you that somehow these allegations against Julian Assange are completely disconnected from his other activities, which, of course, might be considered political. There's no connection there, is there? So, essentially, these are trumped up charges in order to get this guy arrested, get him in jail under some pretense, smear his reputation, smear the reputation of Wikileaks as a whole, because now he's an unsavory character, you know, because he had consensual sex with 2 women and then 2 of them changed their minds after that, and it's just, it is completely beyond belief that anybody cannot laugh at this. You know, actually, it's very serious. It's very serious, because the same thing happened to, if you remember, way back, and people's memories are very short, very short. Same thing happened to Scott Ritter when he started to expose the lies coming out of U.S. officials regarding the Iraq War and the startup to all this, saying that, listen, you know, you don't have a leg to stand on. And in regards to Iran as well, you know, this guy was also vilified by the U.S. press, and they had some charges regarding, you know, him being a sexual predator on the internet, conversing with minors. None of this has ever been proven, okay? None of it. But it was enough to smear his reputation, and now he's totally off the radar screen for most people. They didn't have to arrest him to shut him up, I guess. This kind of tactic, you know, it's so obvious. It dates back, you know, to the Pentagon papers and how that guy was smeared, you know, the guy who released it. Many young people don't know about that history, but it's a long history, and of course you're going to smear the reputations. Governments are going to smear the reputations of people who are launching any serious criticism, especially if they have proof for what they're saying. And so, of course, Daniel Ellsberg was also smeared and targeted for assassination way back then. So there's nothing new about it. Only in that case, the Supreme Court decided that the press actually did have the right to publish the Pentagon papers. Now, it looks dicey. I'm not sure if the Supreme Court in the United States would actually side with the free press anymore. I kind of have my doubts. Let's put it this way. But the tactics are the same, you know. Break into some psychiatrist's office and you know, under Nixon, and get every piece of dirt you can find on this person in order to discredit the messenger, and persuade people the message is not important at all. It's you need to focus on the messenger, you know. In this case, some blonde guy from Australia, who's very concerned with freedom of the press. And he's also very concerned about not getting people hurt. You know, it takes some determination to do that. And to be willing to go to jail for your beliefs. I don't think many of us are quite that strong. So, you know, he's speaking for some of us here who are saying, you know what you're doing? It's a good thing. Expose the corruption of all these governments. But let me tell you something, it's easier said than done, especially after they come after your family.